Everyone, we are going to discuss compound semiconductors have revolutionized the electronic industry. Justify. Introduction. Compound semiconductor films have been growth exponentially on single crystal insulators, example A203 and CaF2, as well as semiconductor substrates. However, it is the later case that has attracted the overwhelming bulk of the attention, and it will be our primary focus in the exploitation of compound semiconductors for electronic and optoelectronic devices. The creation of epitaxial heterojunction is crucial. Semiconductor. Semiconductors are the materials which have a conductivity between conductors and non-conductors or insulators. Semiconductors can be compounds such as gallium arsenide or pure elements such as germanium or silicon. Physics explains the theories, properties and mathematical approaches governing semiconductors. Example of semiconductor. Gallium arsenide, germanium and silicon are some of the most commonly used semiconductors. Silicon is used in electronic circuit fabrication and gallium arsenide is used in solar cells, laser diodes, etc. Compound semiconductor. Elementary semiconductors are those made up of single type of atom, such as silicon Si, germanium Ge and tin Sn in column 4, and selenium Se and tellurium Te is in column 6 of the periodic table. However, there are many complex semiconductors that are made up of two or more elements. In addition to silicon, there are complex semiconductors that connected element from third and fifth and element from groups 2, second and sixth. For example, GaAs, INP, INGaAP, etc. have been used traditionally in high frequency devices and optical devices. LED are made up of compound semiconductors, not elementary semiconductor. The band gap of elementary semiconductor is such that the emitter light wavelength lies in the third infrared region. It cannot be used with LEDs. Light produced by complex semiconductors, it is invisible region and therefore used in LEDs. There are two types of external semiconductors. P-type for positive, the hole was added by doping with group 3 element, and N-type, N for negative, additional element for added by 5 element doping. Example of compound semiconductors. Compound semiconductors are semiconductors composed of two or more elements. The remaining composite semiconductors are made up of group 2nd and 6th. And it is also possible to use different elements from the same group 4 from the production of complex semiconductors such as SiC. Characteristics of compound semiconductors. It is high speed operation, high electron mobility, the ability to generate high frequency signals, low voltage operation for lighter and longer lasting, low voltage batteries used for portable devices, light emission, both visible and infrared light for lasers and LEDs, sensitivity to light for photodetectors, sensitivity to magnesium, useful in sensor application, resistant to heat and radiation, useful in space applications such as solar cells for satellites. Compound semiconductors for electric in LED. LEDs are made up of complex semiconductor materials which consist of elements from group 3 and group 5 of the periodic table. These are 3,5 materials. Example of 3,5 materials commonly used in manufacture of LEDs are gallium arsenide and gallium phosphate. Complex semiconductors are already used in power amplifiers for smartphones and other wireless devices, light sources for DVD and Blu-ray, LEDs solar cells and gyro stabilizers in satellites to new a few. For several decades, light-emitting diode has been using materials such as gallium arsenate phosphate, or gallium phosphide, making PN junction more efficient in producing light. They enables the production of more common LED colors red, orange, yellow, and green. Conclusion: Government funding development, the GAAS ecosystem. Performance is the fuels. Commercial application are the growth engine for the market. Growth of GAAS drove the growth of the other compound semi-technologies. INP, SIC, SIGE, GAN, all other performance advantages. Compound semiconductor competent interest has grown. Silicon is the biggest competitive technology under the fire as the increment technology in the HPE market, capturing share in the RF and LED segments. Thank you.